Hey YouTube. The reason why I'm doing this video today is to talk about loving God with all your mind, with all your soul, and it's a hard thing to do. Um, I have noticed for the past couple of months, dealing with dark persuasion, dealing with dark psychology, dealing with certain things that you actually have to come at this situation with a game plan, with a strategy to stay focused and to stay according to God's will by implementing God daily in your daily activities or implementing your plan rather in your daily activities. If you have plans on not dating, you have to implement strategies in your daily activity to actually implement that and to actually sustain that because of all the different psychological tricks and other techniques and devices that are being used against you in a virtual state. Um, they also have a virtual holding where they're using multi-virtual simulations to hold the people in these situations to prevent them from freeing themselves, to prevent them from removing themselves from the things that are taking place. So you have to come prepared for warfare, prepared to actually deal with some of these techniques and devices in which they're using against the people. Um, to me personally, I consider it modern day slavery. I don't care what other people consider it. For me personally, I consider it slavery because even when you're working for a person, you're kind of thrown out of your element mentally, physically, and emotionally. You go up under attack constantly. Um, there are times when you're being blanked out at work constantly. There are things that's happening to you and the people on the job constantly. And there isn't anyone really trying to address the situations, really trying to help you where you understand, hey, a lot of this is going on. It shouldn't be going on. What's taking place and stuff like that. So you really have to come at these situations with a game plan because you got so many things that people are trying to get you to do that are abnormalities. And that's how they say that they know if they have control of you through the abnormality and the illogic. So you have to come with the game plan. Is this logic? Is it logical for certain things to happen? We have young women now that are being tagged, and like I told you, you can date one partner, and that one partner, they use his image to have sex with you, multiple men. So you're dating one man, but you have multiple men sleeping with you. So you're dating your husband, but your husband isn't your husband. It's multiple men sleeping with you so that they can say that you're a prostitute. Or it's both, multiple men or women. And so that they can put you in a prostitution state or say that you are a prostitute when your only time having sex was with your husband, your boyfriend, or whoever you was with at the time. But they're coming to you in his image, but they're doing little spiteful, sneaky things with it to try to say that you were aware. So they will do something that's abnormal for you because of the simple fact, okay, I'm with one man, but why would this person be saying this? I'm with this person, but he's saying stuff that's not making sense to me, like as if he's something else or somebody else. And this is stuff that they're using against women. So now you're going through the Southern Belle issue of not being able to have sex, not being able to be sexually active, not being able to actually put yourself in that situation. So you begin to do that Now, as you're doing it, you're going under attack because you're going through rape situations. Now, okay, we can't get it willingly to an extent because willingly you were sleeping with your boyfriend. So that was just one person you was willingly sleeping with, but multiple people got the opportunity to sleep with you because you were sleeping with just your boyfriend, you know, your baby daddy, whoever, and when I wake women up to this, a lot of times they don't understand our people aren't really our people. They're not really for us like they should be. And we have to now adjust ourselves to deal with the situation. Okay, you know that you don't want multiple people sleeping with you. And I don't care how great a man may be, because what I learned over the years is that sometimes we're dating guys and they are great guys, and they seem great and they seem wonderful and they seem well put together and they just seem all out perfect. I have been in that situation before, but now you have to come and ask yourself the question: is he worth you having STDs? Is he worth you having multiple men sleeping with you against your will, in his image, in his greatness? So you have to actually adjust yourselves in accordance with this and not have sex. And you have to do that with all your mind, all your body, and all your soul. We know that Apostle Paul said it's better to be alone. But guess what? There was no elaboration on that. And a lot of times, what we're not understanding, we're getting pieces of a whole script. So, but we had no real elaboration unless we have a real relationship with God, unless we're actually opening up entities and actually learning the real motive for certain things taking place, because we don't know. I wasn't aware to that. I wasn't brought to that understanding. I was brought to that knowledge. I didn't know this was taking place. I didn't know that was taking place. And now we have been victimized and taken advantage of without us actually giving a consent or being consensual to anything or any of the abuse that has taken place. But our enemies have made it where people would interpret it that way, where they would be embraceful to certain things that are taking place with us and they should not, you know. So our enemies have made it whereas, oh, yeah, this is okay, because we have manipulated and persuaded others to actually think that, you know, this was the norm for this person. Even if it's prostitution, no matter, even if it's them saying psychologically unstable, whatever it is that they're saying, they just want it to be considered the norm, and it is not. So you have to start the process of loving God with all your mind, body, and soul. First way you can do it: stop having sex. Cut it off. That's going to give you an epiphany. Sometimes our jobs are connected to so many different things. I can't tell you, I was working for a company one time. It seemed like I could never get mentally straight because I was working for this company. And I'm like, something's wrong here. And what we have to understand, there are companies that are not under God and not for the love of God. They are actually against the people. They are actually trying to demonize the people. And when I say demonize the people, they want to live a holy and righteous life, but they don't want you to. So they take you through demonization. Some of them are actually living a, a defiled life, and they're okay with living that. They're okay with having sex with multiple people. They're okay with doing all this filthy stuff, but you are not. You should not be okay with it, Sorry, it's really early in the morning. With you not being okay with it, they're trying to make it okay with people. And we go through blindness, and a lot of people say, well, why would we be experiencing blindness? We're going through blindness, we're going through mental attack, and we're going through deceitful ways of them using devices against us, abusing us, and everything. And while they're doing that, they're getting away with it because you don't know. When you can remove that situation where it says you don't know and you can say, I know now, it becomes a different battle. Because now with you knowing, they're trying to use Alzheimer's society for you to forget. Okay, how do I keep myself from not for, how can I keep myself from not forgetting? We have to remind ourselves, what am I going to do? I'm going to write down the notes that God's given to me so that I can implement them daily into my life. I'm going to write down certain things. Sometimes I work for jobs and sometimes I don't get my messages that usually I get from God to actually minister on YouTube and to actually minister to people. And I remember working for this one job, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, we intercepted certain stuff that was being sent to you, this and that, this and that." And I'm like, "Well, why are you intercepting messages?" I have went up on the all out attack where they have my phone hacked. Um, Going in my mailbox, stealing checks and stealing stuff that is meant to elevate me and advance me. But this is a job that's actually doing it, and the people that's on the job assisting them. And I'm like, this is real sick of you. I don't understand. And we have to realize we have some sick people out there. And I remember thinking about God as he was taking Jesus as he was taking his last stand for the word of God, and he was on the cross, and he's telling God they know not what they they are doing. They're out of it mentally, and then going into the theory of the virtual, where they're getting sicker and sicker because they're thinking that they're elevating, but all it is them putting a multiverse together to make them believe that they're elevating, to make them believe that they're in a different location, to make them believe that it is different, and it's not. You're still dealing with the mirror, you're still dealing with the mirror, you're still dealing with the cameras in you, you're still dealing with the vision impairment, you're still dealing with all these different things that you may have not been equipped to deal with, knowledgeable about dealing with, but you're dealing with it. So now you have to come into the instructions of God. So we always heard people say, okay, the Bible gives you instructions, but you have to seek it out early because this is what's happening. Okay, you're dealing with the mirror, right? When we're dealing with the mirror, that word of God changes. And a lot of people use different tactics and different things to actually stop the people from listening to the word of God. I can't tell you how many times my video has been edited without my permission, saying the wrong things or sending the wrong signals to the wrong people, and it bothers me. I sit up there, sometimes I listen to TD Jakes and they've been them edit his video to say the wrong thing. And I'm tempted to turn away from the video, which sometimes I do, and just try to find another video of his that actually makes sense. But it's a lot of different tactics that they're using to stop us from actually being in the atmosphere of the people of God, being around people that really love us, being around people that will care for us and nourish us in this ministry and in the will of God. And it's not like they don't know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They intend for it to be this way for the people of God. Every tactic that they're using it intentionally. It's not unintentional that your phone is hacked. But this is what I have to tell you about preparing yourself mentally for this. Loving God with all your mind, body, and soul. Okay, I'm not giving my body away. So that's one way I'm loving God. I'm loving myself. So now it's time for you to shed love for yourself because you are the vessel in which the word of God is held in. So, first thing, you're going to start loving yourself. You're going to stop allowing certain things to happen to yourself that you can prevent. A lot of things that you're going to be awakened to, or you're going to go through this process of confusion, of thinking something's wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. I remember when I first started going through this process, I went to the mental health place. I was like, hey, um, I need y'all to check my head. I don't know what all this is and stuff. And I'm going to tell you, don't do that. Stay home. There is nothing wrong with you. It's them trying to lure and draw you out. It's luring and drawing you out that they're trying to do, make you run or make you leave your home or make you remove yourself from certain places and stuff so that they can have control. Make you check into institutions that pretty much these institutions are not for our people. They are against our people. And they will use these institutions constantly against you and against our people. I can't tell you how many times I have sued already, you know, and tried to retain money, and they laugh at it because they feel like they're in control, and they're not. They're not. They're still dealing with certain situations. When you know the person is in the same situation as you know better. So let me give you a few more keys. So loving yourself or whatever. Now we're going to deal with the word of God. Let's get some biblical speaking going on. Find you a ministry that you like, whether it's a TV ministry, whether it's your pastor or whatever, and find their YouTube videos. Hopefully, these pastors are actually doing video documentaries on their ministry and stuff like that, so it can actually help you elevate or whatever the case may be. Get into that. Find your radio ministry. I love listening to Sugar 900. You can actually get that on TuneIn. So go on TuneIn. You'll hear Sugar 900. That is a local station for us here in the Blaze area in Florida, and we also have the inspirational radio station. That's another thing I listen to. 88.1. Um, these two stations help with a lot of different things. Just helps you with your daily life, helps you to cope, helps you to mentally deal with things, and it's inspiring. So when you listen to the inspiration radio station, it's helpful. When you're listening to Sugar 900, you're listening to play the music, all this stuff is helpful, it's inspiring, it's getting you where you need to go. Now, get you a ministry. If you don't want to actually listen to it that way, just find songs that inspire you. Mentally inspire you. Whether it's just you listening to gospel music, if you don't feel comfortable listening to gospel music, listen to something that inspires you and will keep you focused on the tracks that have messages for the lifestyle in which you're choosing to live for yourself, for your family, what you're trying to do with yourself, with your family, and these will help you cope with some of the things that you have to deal with and stuff like that. So these are coping devices to help you cope. Now, like I said, YouTube ministry. You want to get some word of God into you somehow. So you're gonna sit up there. You're gonna go on YouTube. You're gonna sit up there. You're gonna listen to whoever you have to listen to, Priscilla, TD Jakes, whatever you have to listen to, you know, just to get you mentally where you need to be to deal with the challenges and stuff like that, to get that word of God in somehow. And now we're going into the word, reading the Bible. Okay, even though we know that we're dealing with the mirror on the wall, we're dealing with the flaws, we're dealing with a lot of different stuff, download you an app. Um, get the word of God through you. Okay, I'm going to sit up here and have it read to you. One chapter a day, two chapters a day, whatever you do, and have it read to you every day, you know, and stuff like that. Have it read to you. It's read to you for a reason. And also meditating on that, and stuff like that, getting that into you daily. These things are going to help you deal with some of these devices in which these people are trying to do to actually lure you away from God, to actually have dominion and control. Because we got to remind you, they want domination over you, dominion over you. They want to control and puppeteer you and put you in a state where you cannot fight back. And how they're doing that is through illogic. How they're doing that is through bad behavior. You wouldn't go to the toilet and drink pee. You wouldn't go to the toilet and eat feces. But guess what? This is something that is being done to you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to sit up here and you have to cover yourself. Okay, you eating your food and you're drinking water, whatever, and find yourself drinking pee, and stuff like that. All this different stuff these people do to people, and people are scared to divulge the information, to say anything about it and stuff like that. So yeah, you're taking your vaccinations, and it's a good thing that you're taking your vaccination, because where you think home is, like you're sitting in your living room, it is not home. You are surrounded around a group of people constantly watching you. So you have to prepare yourself. And they're doing manipulative, problematical things to you because they're upset because they didn't do it. Or they're upset because of certain things that they committed themselves to. So as you're eating your food and trying to get healthy, trying to do the proper diet, you sitting up there, you're making your um, protein shakes in the morning, and they just drop toilet paper in your protein shakes that you make in the morning because they're being hateful and nasty and manipulative. You're doing certain things and they just do a lot of nasty things. Like you're eating a regular sandwich, you probably ate two already, like the little chicken sandwiches or whatever. They will replace your chicken patty with a feces, and you're eating and you're not aware of it. So prepare yourself, make sure you go and get your vaccinations, make sure you're doing what you have to do for yourself, because these people don't care what they do to us. We are not in a situation where we can really physically combat them, because we can't combat what we can't see. So we have to actually govern ourselves to the point where we can see and we can actually combat this abuse. So when you're sitting up there and you're looking at having gallbladders removed, having certain parts of your body removed, it's not coincidental. That abuse was intentional. They intentionally did this against you, intentionally abused you, intentionally sickened you while God was dealing with you. So, I mean, I don't know how else to tell you, but all I can tell you is properly govern yourself as best as you can. May God bless you guys. Hopefully, these words have inspired you.